Good morning. Welcome back to Coffee and Colorful Conversation. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back. So, as you can see, I have a lovely guest here. I'm supposed to have two guests. So, Mary is a member of my Hair Color Secrets Insider Inner Circle. She has been for several years. And on I believe it was two coffee chats ago, there she is. She's coming in. We have another guest. She just arrived. Like 2 weeks ago, I think we talked about my salon concierge and all the benefits of having an automated system in your salon, taking care of all the getting back to clients and following up with clients and sending clients haven't seen you in a while emails and all of the things that when you're busy behind the chair and you're doing hair and doing what you love, you don't want to have to then go home and do, a week's worth of admin work. So during that chat, Pam and Mary were having a side chat in the chat of the coffee chat on Facebook about online booking. And Pamela was like, I don't online book. And Mary's like, I didn't either, but now I love it. And I was like, ladies, Pamela is also a member of the Insider Inner Circle. I said, ladies, please be my guest on a future coffee chat so that we can have a little debate about online booking, the pros and the cons, because there's pros and cons to everything, right? We all know that. So getting into technology can be scary. Usually, if you're fighting it and you're not jumping on board, it's totally 100% fear of the what ifs. The what ifs can stream really long. What if somebody books the wrong time? What if somebody doesn't give me enough time for the service? What if the client before them runs late? I think that was one of Pam's things. She was like, well, what if I run late? I said, well, what happens if it's on your pencil book right now? It's the same thing. If you run late, you run late. It has nothing to do with online booking. So we're gonna have a little discussion. This is gonna be fun. I love having guests. I'm gonna bring Pam to the stage. Hello, my darling. You figured it all out. You're here.
I'm actually on my phone, but I've tried so hard to get it up on my computer, and I went into StreamYard and stuff and set it all up, but I can't see where to join on the computer, so I'm on my phone.
But you're here and you figured it out, and that's a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
and I'm happy it happened because that's the point of us talking about this. Every single thing that you're hesitating online booking for, you're going to have a little bit of a learning curve. You're going to have that beginner new thing, and then you're going to finesse it, and you're going to look back and say, what the heck was I thinking? Why did I not do this sooner? Now, I'm going to really put you on the spot right now because you know me and it would be no different. You expected nothing less. Did you do the challenge that I asked you to do? Did you flick that little toggle in your Gloss Genius and turn it on for a week?
Yes, but I have not been to work yet. So, and I'm still trying to figure out my service menu. So it's a little hard to, turn that on when I'm not quite totally prepared.
So that means you didn't do it and you're telling me yes because I'm putting you on the spot.
No, I haven't been to work yet. So,
Well, you forget that I'm a life coach, Pam. So my bullshit meter's going up. So
no, no.
you have Gloss Genius on your phone. You don't need to be at work to see if that works. That means you didn't turn it on. And that's
Oh,
okay. That's
oh,
okay.
yes, yes. I'm able to turn it on and I know how to turn it on and stuff, but, um, and I have turned it on, but like I said, I'm still trying to work on my service menu to get it. This is the problem, perfected, right?
Done is better than perfect. You know that. You
Yeah.
hear it
I
often.
keep hearing that, but it's like, ugh.
There's
And
never
nothing
going
is
to
ever
be a perfect. There's never, ever, ever, ever in anything in life going to be perfect. I'm going to give you an example. Mary and I were just talking weddings before you came on. Her son's getting married. When my daughter got married, everything was going perfect. My son was in charge of videotaping the vows. The vows were the most beautiful vows, not just because it's my daughter, but because they wrote their own. And it was so like I was bawling. I'm like, so much for pictures afterwards, like puffy eyes. But it
Yeah.
was so beautiful. And I just kept looking at my son like, I'm so happy you're recording this. I'm so happy you're recording this. We finish. He goes on his phone, no sound. The entire thing is them going like an old movie. He
Oh, no.
was beyond he's like, I cannot believe I just did that. And it was technology, to your point, Pam. He did everything. He set everything up. He did a sound check. He put a mic on the person who married them. He put a mic on them. Check, 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 check. Did recordings. Everything was fine. We have no idea what happened, but it happened. And
Yeah.
there's no getting that back, right? That's a huge thing. Like that really stunk because for the rest of their lives, they don't have that on film to show their kids, to show their grandkid, whatever. It was awful. But the point is, I didn't stop using that microphone. I didn't stop making, videos for all of you guys in the membership. Like shit happens, for lack of a cleaner word. Like there's always going to be something. So everything that you can do with your pencil or pen and a paper book, you can do in the online book. So I want you to give me your very first rebuttal of the why behind not doing it. And then I want to have Mary answer the reason that you should do it. I'm going to take myself off.
Well, like you said, the one thing is fear. Is I want to set myself up for success, and by doing that, the perfection in me kind of sets in, and if I don't feel like I have everything in order, it feels like chaos to me. And by not having my service menu, which my service menu I have been working on for like 2 years, trying to get it all figured out, because I don't do a lot of blonding. I'm more on gray coverage. So it's just getting, and then knowing who I am and what kind of target market that I'm really trying to attract. So without really pinpointing on what kind of target market I want, I've been kind of a fly in the garden per se, because I've been going here and there and doing haircuts and perms and shampoo sets and all that stuff. And there's things that I don't want to do now. So I have to break that away from my service menu and just concentrate more on exactly what is it that I want to have on my service menu. And then so I can attract those people.
Am I supposed to pop in, Elaine? So for me, I have been doing online booking for about 14, maybe 18 years now. When I first did it, it was extremely scary. And I had everything on my booking that I did. But I also kept a paper book for a year with it. But what I've learned as the years have gone through is I have with my service menu, in the beginning I had everything on it, and then now I have down to basic. So when people book, there's no question of what they're booking, and I actually book out a little bit extra time, and then it pops up that they are booking. So then I can adjust the time on my side. But it was extremely hard, because now I don't have, I felt I didn't have control of my books, but honestly, I had control of my books. It was just taking that leap of clicking that button and turning on online booking. So
I love that you said control, because I am the leader of, Control Freaks Anonymous. I should have a chapter here. I've been struggling with control issues my entire life. I've gotten a little bit better, but it never goes away. Mary, I don't know what microphone you're on, but you're getting a little weird with your microphone. If you can try to tweak that. I had to jump in here because Pam, I have to tell you, I've been doing hair for almost 40 years. My salon is 30, I think I'm 33 years this year. And my clients who have seen me for over 20 years have never seen my menu. Like, I think you're putting too much emphasis on my menu. They don't even know what my menu is. They don't know what I offer, how much it is. Like, they sit in my chair and it starts with a consultation each and every time. So I think you have all the tools. You have the ability to do the form that you can have the client fill out before they come to see you. So in that virtual consultation and in that process, you're finding out everything about them, what they need, what kind of color, to then say to them, you're going to click this. Like, you're still controlling the whole process. They're just controlling the when and the what time. That's it. So I think maybe if someone showed you how it all works on there, like maybe you're overthinking what it does, that like they're going to take a spot that you didn't want them to take. Like when you first set it up, you put haircut 60 minutes, 75, however many minutes, you tell it how many minutes, and then it'll say, do you want to let people squeeze in? I say no, I don't want people to squeeze in. So
Right.
like the computer is smarter than all three of us and everybody on the planet, unfortunately. All you have to do is ask ChatGPT a question. You're like, whoa, why did I go to school? So let the computer do the heavy lifting for you, and don't worry about the little. Is there some things that happen? Like when we first started doing it, we do color for, we're a departmentalized salon. So we see the client first for color. The color's applied on their dry hair. They go to the shampoo bowl, they get all finished up, and then they go to their stylist for the cut and the blow dry. Well, brand new people were booking it the other way around. They would book the cut first and then the color, and it was really messing up our flow of how our salon is set up. It's not that it's right or wrong, it's just the way that our salon flows. So we would call them and say, hey, I see that you booked, XYZ, and we'd like to flip it. This is the way we do it. And it was fine. We just flipped it, So in the beginning, yeah, you're going to stalk your app a little bit and just make sure that everything is hunky dory. But it's really the same as if, you booked somebody and somebody else needed that time, and you're adjusting and you're erasing. And there's really a parallel between the parallel in the control piece is the same book and computer. What's not the same is the legwork. So by not doing it on the app, you're doing a whole lot of busy work that you really don't need to do. And I believe you're solo, right? So you don't have a front desk person, an assistant. Like you're really just working way harder than you need to. And as far as like, there's certain things I do that I no longer want to do. Even better to not have a menu. You just say, Pamela, this is where I am. Hairstylist, would love to meet you. Like it doesn't have to be. I really dislike when people put partial foil. That like they make it so machine-like, where it's like, what is a partial foil? Everybody needs what they need. So if I come in, like I'm going to go see Johnny next week, if I only need a couple of foils right here in my money piece, that is his experience, his expertise, his artistic ability to put the pieces where this PIA wants them. I mean, he spends more time doing a couple foils on me than some hairdressers do on a whole head, because I want them in a certain spot. So I don't love it's a partial, it's a full, it's, all of that. It's where am I in my career, and what do I deserve to be paid for the time that I'm here? So it's almost like an hourly average and the cost of your materials. Whatever you do, the online piece is not prohibiting that. So I'm going to shut up and let you two ladies keep talking. But I just wanted you to hear that they've never, like, if you ask one of my clients, what's Elaine's menu look like? They'd be like, Elaine has a menu? Like, it's on my website just because that's what you're supposed to do. But there's no prices on there. There's no details. We say we make sure you have a full consultation, because everybody's different.
Let me know if my volume is better.
It's not your volume. It was just like getting like staticky, almost like you were or something.
Okay.
But you sound good now.
Okay, thanks. Okay. For me, simplifying my menu was the best thing I ever did. So I even have, for highlights, I have just highlights down there. And then it's when they come in is what we discuss on the highlights. So I just do a starting price and that's it.
Well, I'm also in a marketing funnel program too. So I'm learning a lot more on how your funnel works and all that stuff. So it does get confusing when you're, listen to Elaine, because she has a methodology to her madness. And then, in this course that I've been in for a couple of years, it's, that kind of situation. So I use Square. So I already book my clients myself. So I've already got my service menu in there. I guess the scary part is in there is living up to your own expectations out there in the world, where you're in your comfort zone and having your own people who,
Right.
you're booking them for those times, and you know, if you have to tweak it a little bit, like you were saying, Mary. But
Right.
when you stick it out there in the world for the unknown person that you've never met before, then it's
Scary.
getting the confidence to know that, what I'm doing now is going to be the same to if somebody online booked too. I understand that,
Yep.
but
Oh no, it
it's
is
just,
very scary.
I had talked about getting the little mag strip for my square, and it took my son to get it for me to, push me into it because of technology. That's the whole deal is this, I've been working on a website for over a year now. This month is marking a whole year. And I look at it now and see where I've come from a year ago and how frustrating it was and how many tears that I've cried because I couldn't figure things out. And, when you're by yourself and you don't have anybody else my husband's very techie, but when it comes to understanding our business and what we're doing with it, they don't understand.
Right, right. It is scary
But
though. Click that button and everybody out there searching can see it. So, but yeah, and it is like what Elaine said. It is like using a paper and pencil, but it's still scary.
yeah, yeah.
But I love
What
it.
was
I
what?
love it. I would never turn back.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there. I know I will. And it's just, I know I'm dragging my feet and making excuses, and I just need to just do it.
So the bully's back. So I'm here to bully you again. So I want you to watch this back because I know when you're on here live and other people are watching, like I know when I was doing coaching with my coach, things that I would say on the coaching call and they would react to, I'd be like, I didn't say that. And then I'd go back and be like, I totally said it. So you said my comfort zone, which is huge.
Mhm.
Mary said control. You said control. Like those words, they're all fear-based words, right? The comfort zone is comfortable, but there's no growth that happens there. And you hear me say that all the time. Nothing fabulous happens in the comfort zone. The times in my life that I've been the most uncomfortable, in retrospect, have been the biggest markers of the biggest amounts of growth in my life. When I'm like breaking down, bawling my eyes out, is when it becomes a move to the sun and living by the beach and like all the big giant things you have to break down before you can rise up in any situation. Think about like, the whole meme that goes around like a potato, it has to be in boiling water to get soft. An egg has to, all those things that go around. It's normal. It's normal to have the fear of new things and different things. But I want to go back to, you said you've been in a funnel program, you have somebody else that you're working with, and I have a feeling I know who that is, and that's wonderful. But you said you've spent a year working on the website. I'm pretty sure that this past year, you've made a nice income and you've had a full clientele. So what is that website going to do different for you that you did stuff without it? Like I'm not bashing websites. I think that it's important to have a spot. But what I have found in doing this for 40 years, that most people go to your website because they meet you and you send them there. So like if the people that you're afraid are going to look at that, you're actually meeting them, seeing them in person and sending them there for like, what's the word? To see that you're legit and you have an actual business. Does that make sense? Like, has anyone
Yeah.
ever found your website and come to you through that without you having anything to do with it?
I don't have it existing yet, so nobody has seen it. No.
So that's a
And
year.
I don't have a full book, and that's another reason why I do want to get a website out there too, just so I can get more exposure. And
But how do you think people are going to find that website? This is not me picking on you. This is every single
no,
person.
yeah.
47 people here that this is for. So please don't think I am a bully, but I'm not being a bully to you. So this is what we think. And this is what, I mean, I can't even tell you how much money on a logo and a sign for my little itty bitty business that was behind my parents' house in I think it was 1998, something like that. I was like, the sign has to have this and has to that. Da, da. Nobody ever came to see me to get their hair done because I had that sign. Nobody ever came to see me to get their hair done because they liked my business card. When I see people stressing about business cards and logos and t-shirts and all this stuff, I'm like, I did all that. And to your point, you said, I don't really know if anybody, like, you don't really know where people come from, but I know, I can tell you for me, everywhere I go, I just went to a glass blowing class last night. It was amazing, by the way. It was so fun. So we're making things with, the goggles and the flame and all the things. And the first thing that people say is, oh my gosh, I love your hair. Who does your hair? I'm like, actually, I'm a colorist. It's the conversation at Starbucks, at Target, at a wedding, at whatever. It's the relationships and the referrals of your existing clients. So an existing client may say, oh, go see Elaine at Lux Color Lounge. They may go on and Google Lux Color Lounge and get to my website. So it is important to have it, but I would never spend a year of my life overthinking that. Like, it's so not going to push the needle forward with you. I don't know if you talked to Jack or not with my salon concierge, but like, if you're the type of person that's holding you back and you're ruminating over that, that's where something like that comes in, where they do everything for you. They're doing the website, but they're driving the people to the website through paid ads. So that's a different story. That's like getting people to show up and see all of your lovely hard work on that website that you created. So I just don't want you to misconstrue like what a website does. Like, people think,
Oh yeah.
when you build it, they will come. It doesn't work that way at all.
No.
Like, there's a new restaurant here in town, beautiful restaurant overlooking the water, like good food. All the boxes are ticked. There's nobody in there. It's completely empty. They have a website. They have all the things. Nobody's there. They just haven't gotten the word out enough. Sometimes you have to pay to play. If you really want to get that, talk to Lori in the membership. She just posted saying, oh my gosh, I have so many clients. I don't know what to do with them. And I'm not talking about that to plug my salon concierge. I'm just telling you the difference between having a page sitting on the stratosphere of the internet, floating out there with the other 400 million hair websites, and actually putting eyeballs on the website to get people to come and see you. So Mary, I want you to share things that have been a positive and different from going from pen and paper or pencil and paper to online booking.
Positive is, I love that my phone hardly rings, because everybody's doing it on the, themselves on the phone or on the online booking. So I'm hardly ever stopping to have to answer the phone. And the other thing is, I actually have control of my online booking. If somebody books and I think they need less time, I just make it less time. I put more time on my online booking because of the unknown. So I can always adjust. But I think my biggest take from online booking is I have far less phone calls that I have to deal with. And I always tell them, if you can't find anything, call me or send me a text. But, and then everything's just in the program when I end the day. So it's great.
How did you switch now you're basically talking about your own returning clientele, right? That are online booking with you. How did you just tell them, okay, now you guys are going to start to have to book your own appointments? I'm not going to do it. Or do you guys still have some that pre-book with you at the time before they leave?
So a lot of my clients pre-book for the year, which I love.
Beautiful.
And we always say, if we have to change it, let's just change it. And a lot of people just pick up where the next appointment is supposed to be, which is great. The one that doesn't do that, I always say, well, then we just got to figure it out. If it works, it works. It doesn't. But so I have a lot of pre-book for the year. And then those that are not computer savvy, no problem. I book for them. But a lot of people like to book at midnight. They're on their computers at midnight booking their appointments. So I just told them, if you guys want to book online, here's my link, and go ahead. And then also just search me in Vagaro. Oh, I use Vagaro, so they just search me in the Vagaro app and they find me and then book it. So, but I think my biggest thing on the booking too is I simplified it. I literally have haircuts, highlights, colors. What I think my menu has only like 10 things on it, if that.
So everything's a la carte.
Everything's a la carte. Yes. Yeah. But I think once you take that leap and just allow people to book, and you be comfortable knowing, because you're going to get an alert if you set it up that way, you get an alert that they've booked. And I have on my site any new clients booking that they have to consult with me first.
I think that's the whole thing too, is that knowing what it actually looks like when somebody does book it, because I've never had anybody book their own appointment before. And I did have one of my clients, I must have left the enable button on, Elaine. I did have it turned on. And somehow I got a text from her saying, did you get my message that I moved my appointment? And I didn't even have a clue that she did that. I didn't get a notification that she did that. So when I went in there and I thought, oh, that's not going to work. So I had to text her and tell her, that time and day won't work. I'm going to have to move you to a different time. So it still seems like there may be a little bit of back and forth with people, but most of my clients, they get that deer in the headlight look when you tell them, well, I'm going to start doing online booking, and you may or may not have to book it yourself, but if there's time when you need to change it, you can go online and do it yourself. And they're all like,
too, I don't want you to think it's this or that. Like, I just want you off the paper book. So if they're
I'm not on a paper book.
Well, what are you on? If you're not on online booking, you're not.
I'm on Square. I have Square. I just don't have it open for online booking.
You crack me up.
So I'm thinking you're like old school Sally Beauty. You get the big book and you're writing it, and you're afraid to do. So you're on the technology. You are the new president of the chapter of Control Freaks. I am passing the baton to you, Pam.
I'm sorry if I misled you that way. I didn't. No, I was. No, I've been using Square for a long time, and I just don't have it open to online booking yet.
Okay, so it's just
maybe that's where I'm kind of confused at all this too.
Like, why is she bullying me? I'm already on there. No, so what happens, like with us, when I'm going to back up now that I know what the hell's going on. So clients in your chair, they still have the cape on. We're going to call her Jill. I don't know why my fantasy clients always Jill. I don't even think I had a Jill. Oh, I did have a crazy Jill. That's why. So Jill's in the chair. She still has the cape on. You say, Jill, it was so nice seeing you, blah, blah, blah. Your usual 5 weeks, whatever it is. And then you pull out your phone, you book it for her. You're still doing that. And don't worry about the Jill doesn't own it, still has a flip phone or doesn't have a phone at all, or is going to fight. That's okay. You're still going to book her that way. It's the new client that you want to get. That's why you're in a funnel system. That's why you're like, I want new people. You're keeping yourself stuck with the people that aren't keeping up to date because you're catering to the people that you don't really want more of. Does that make sense? You don't want people that are going to fight all of your modern thing. Like, you spend all this money on coaches, consulting, and education, but then when they're telling you what to do, you're afraid to do the thing and you're staying stuck. So it's this whole, vicious cycle of like, oh, I'm afraid to change. But the not changing is the reason that you're not getting busier. So you really have nothing else. You've seen the result of how you've been doing it without any change, and you're not liking it. So the alternative is try something new. If you hate it, turn it back off. Nobody done. But don't worry about the whole menu isn't ready, da 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 da, all that. Like, no, that doesn't. None of that
I would
is.
I would simplify your menu, honestly, because if you go into the menu and they're already overwhelmed that they're going on an online booking, and then you have all these different menus for just highlighting, it just throws them off. So I would just put highlighting, and you can always, I mean, if you put a price on your menu, always put that up, starting price, all mine is starting price.
Mm-hmm.
But I would simplify your menu as much as possible.
Believe me, I've been sitting here nights trying to, pencil in and, how long do I think it's going to take me for this service? So, well, it already takes me this long to do this service. So why am I stressing about it? So then you're adding a highlighter, you're adding a face frame, or you're adding, and then you just add it to whatever's already there. You already have your timing set up. It's just, I know it's a fear factor for me, definitely.
Yeah.
So what do you
And
think it would
knowing that
take?
I'm already getting pushback from my clients, they're the type, and if I'm stressing about technology, I know exactly what they're feeling like too, to know, oh my God, I got to go in and do something techie,
But they
that they've
don't. We
never
just
had
said
to
they
do
don't.
before.
We just said they don't
Sorry?
though. So take that off. Take that off the table. We just said they don't. You're booking it for them still. So take
Right.
Yeah,
that
but
off your
there's probably a handful of people that don't pre-book that I know, instead of them texting me or calling and saying, hey, it's time for this haircut again, I could just send them to my link and let them do it themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I sit down probably around October, and I do all my pre-booking people. And then those who don't book ahead of time, and they book like every time they come in, it's a chance they take whether I have a spot or not. But like Elaine was saying, those that find you online, they're going to do that. So it will happen. It's just taking that leap. It's hard. I know that it's hard. It's just taking that leap to just turn it on. And that's what I think, simplifying your menu.
Turn it on and leave it on.
Yes, and you will always get notice and adjust whatever you need to adjust. So you just got to flip that switch.
Yeah.
I have a story. I have an example. So later today, I'm going to an art studio to film an ad for Facebook for my hair color program. And I'm having fun with it. It's at a splatter paint place where you just throw paint all over the place. So I went on the website and it was really difficult to navigate. I couldn't figure out how to book it. Then I called and got a voicemail. No, I didn't even get a voicemail. It was just rang and rang and rang. Nobody answered. Then I emailed. So think about the amount of time that I'm putting in just trying to get an appointment. Then I emailed the woman and said, hi, I see that you do splatter paint. I want to make an appointment for Wednesday. Blah, blah, blah. That was Saturday morning that I sent that email. By yesterday at noon, still hadn't heard back from her, still didn't have an appointment. And I really wanted to go today because Bryn's here and she's leaving. So picked up the phone and called her and finally got the appointment. So it was a phone call, trying to fill it out on the website, an email, and another phone call. 4 points of interaction to get one appointment that I almost couldn't get because of it. People's attention spans are like fleas right now. Like they're just going to move on to the next person. If they can't just book you, like Mary said at midnight when they go, oh my gosh, like me, oh my gosh, my gray's in. Like I just texted Johnny and I was like, I'm starting to look like a homeless person. When can you see me? I'm that client, that annoying client that texts him and says, I need color. So I get it. I get how clients are, but someone in the comments earlier said it's what you're allowing, right? So it's the things that we allow that we continue to allow because it's the comfy blanket. Oh, she's so dependent on me. She has to text me. It's so cute. I have such a good relationship with her. She texts my phone. Well, I don't know about you, but like when you're out to dinner or doing something fun, like would you ever know that Pam's a biker? Pam is a badass biker girl and she's afraid of online booking, right? Like most people on here are gonna be like, I'm terrified of being on a motorcycle. So everybody has their thing. This happens to be your thing.
Yeah.
But you got this. I know you can overcome this tiny obstacle and make it. And again, just if you want to continue to cater to the, the Flintstones that won't do the online booking, that's totally okay. Just keep making their appointments for them. Let them text you. Let them do whatever they're doing now. Obviously, it doesn't bother you. Just let them do that. It bothered me. I didn't want anybody on my phone or at me 24/7. So I can't even imagine not doing everything online now. It's like a lifestyle that we've just gotten so used to that, like if it was taken away, which it has been, right? We all had those days where like you have a power failure and you're like, oh my God, what do I do? I guess I'm going to read a book, but it's dark. There's no light in here. Right. So anytime something's taken away, we realize how valuable it is and appreciate it more. But I just really think it can simplify, it can help you grow your clientele, grow yourself, have so much more time for doing the things that you really want to do. And if it's a perfect website that you want, just pay somebody to finish it. Like it's not worth spending another 6 months trying to perfect it because there's no such thing as perfection.
It'll be done soon.
What's defined soon, Pam?
Yeah. Let's see today. by April, hopefully by April 1st.
Now take away the hopeful. Take hopeful because we always use those barrier words when we make promises. I'm going to try, right? What is trying? You either can or you can't. You do or you don't. There's no try. What is try? Try is a word that we use to make a really nice excuse. So when you say, I will be up and running on April 1st, you have a higher chance of doing it. So take away those little parentheses and go for it. You've got it. Someone just said, go, Pamela. So everyone else is believing in you more than you're believing in yourself. And Mary, both of you were so gracious to come here because she was you not too long ago. And we all need a friend to reach down and pull us up to where we got when we were afraid. So that's what today is all about. So I'm happy. That
Mary, sorry. Mary, I'll have to give you my online booking link so you can book an appointment so I can see what it looks like.
Okay. Sounds good.
And if I know Mary will jump on a FaceTime call with you and show you her phone and show you how the book, like I don't have what you have, I don't have Square. But if somebody's on here that has Square that can chat with Pam and give her a little tutorial, I use Square for if I'm at a hair show and I sell books. That's about my only experience with Square. But I have heard like somebody on here was saying that it's complicated. So maybe it's the actual, not to really push you over the edge into a nervous breakdown, but it's possible that there's an easier platform that, would make it a little more seamless.
I don't know what they're saying that it's complicated, but I mean, the whole process, it takes time and, knowing.
Confusing is what Tracy said. Tracy said Square is so confusing with booking. So I don't know if that's like
You mean as somebody trying to go on and book?
I don't know. Tracy, can you elaborate in the comments what you mean by confusing with booking? She just wrote that in the comments. And then Gary just said, I'm on Square, easy to use. So maybe Gary can hook up with Pam and do a little walkthrough.
That'd be great, Gary.
So Gary, put a DM to Pam and tell her if you can FaceTime with her. Let's support Pam, biker Pam, to get over this little hurdle.
Yeah.
I love that about you though. Like I love when I meet someone and like out of the whole room at the retreat, if I said, who in this room do you think rides a motorcycle? No one would point to Pam. Like,
oh, really?
Person that would ever, like, I would never think that, not that there's like a look or a thing, but like, I don't know, most women at our age aren't on motorcycles. They're terrified to be hurt and break a bone. I personally love them, but my husband doesn't like me to do that. I have a little beach scooter and he won't let me cross Gulf Boulevard on that. So I love that you're a badass biker girl, but it's just, we all have these two sides to our personality where like, something like this seems terrifying, but you're on the open road on a hog that like most people can't even hold up. Like it's a heavy piece of machinery. There's a lot of risk involved. So it's not that you're a scaredy cat. It's just the technology is the bane of your existence, and everybody has a bane of their existence, and that just happens to be yours. But it's nothing that can't be overcome. They've
Right.
downloaded another app for booking online and charge $10 to use it. Maybe someone could show me. So maybe Square did
I have the
something.
free version of Square. I don't pay for any of the add-ons either. So, and there's a lot to the free version that you can do, but there are limitations to it. So
So Mandy just commented, and Mandy, thank you for that, because we didn't even talk about the benefits of bookkeeping. So having it, well, you were using that. You said you're using that, so never mind. You have all
of what? I'm sorry?
Of the bookkeeping at the end of the year, but you have it because you're using it on there. Like your numbers at the end of the year, you're getting from Square, correct?
I get from Square, but I also do QuickBooks online too.
Because you like to do things hard, right?
But that is
Well, Square just, I use that for my total income and then what my service fees are, but the rest of it, to keep track of everything, I use QuickBooks.
Okay, that makes sense. Mandy says she pays for appointment confirmation. That's the other thing. Are you using it for your appointment confirmations to remind people?
No, it used to be free, and now they added that as a paid part of Square.
So is $10 a month worth you not sitting there calling people saying, remember that I'm seeing you on Tuesday?
Oh, they get the confirmation anyway. I don't have to pay for that, but they get it, and I can set it up for the 3-day, an email for 3-day reminder, and then also a 24-hour text reminder. So that goes out also.
Okay.
I don't have to pay extra for that. But if they confirm their appointment, that's when you pay if they confirm their appointment.
She said, worth for me to pay for not having no-shows. Have you had any issues with no-shows?
One last month I did, and I sent him an invoice and he paid it.
Oh, awesome. Love that.
Yeah.
Cool. So any other questions for Mary while you have her, or for anybody that's watching and being generous with their feedback?
Well, we'll just get together, Mary, and we can set it up.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can set it up as a test appointment, because then it shows as, all these cancellations if I had to cancel it. So I don't know, but it would be you. So it's not like,
right.
You're a real, client coming in. So we'll have to work on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's
Sounds
the unknown for me too. I don't know what it looks like on the other end.
Right. No, but it is, it's definitely the end of the year. It's nice when everything it's in the program, and that's all you need for your taxes. So it's great.
And you have Gloss. Oh no, you have Vagaro.
Evagaro. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you, ladies, for being here. I appreciate you. And this is the beauty of a community. Both of these ladies are in the Hair Color Secrets Insider Inner Circle. They've met each other in person through the Hair Color Secrets Insider, and they continue to help each other out. And with not everybody, with so many people going solo and going into suites and feeling alone and trying to do everything on their own, it's really nice to have a community. And I'm so blessed to have you guys in my community, because I work by myself and I have nobody to talk to. So I love getting to see you ladies, even if it's on a screen. So thank you so much for today. And for everybody watching, we will see you.
Thank you, Elaine. Thanks. Bye, Mary. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. So thank you for watching the coffee chat. I have a brand new episode that's an amazing one on the podcast, Ask the Color Expert. My friend Ian that we did the podcast live with, his podcast is live. I just did a free training for a Shades EQ forum and got a lot of really great response. I have the replay available for that Shades EQ formulation class that I did, as well as an offer for a workshop that's a much deeper dive into all things glazing and toning with Redken Shades EQ. So if you're interested in any of those things, just put a comment in here below and I can follow up with you in a DM and make sure that you're fully confident in your glazes and toners using Redken Shades EQ specifically, but just in general glazing and toning tips. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.